Welcome, football fans, and thank you for tuning in to another edition of USFL Network Live. I am your host, Hype. You can find me at USFL Network. We are live across Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Just a heads up, giveaways are coming soon, so be sure to subscribe if you want in. Search USFL Network, no spaces. We are going to be having something soon, so as soon as we hit that mark, we'll let you guys know. To our sponsor, looking for the hottest throwbacks, the King of Retro has got you covered on all things USFL Retro. Enter promo code USFL Network at checkout for 10% off your entire purchase. They are the King of Retro. Joining me tonight, as always, is the network jackpot winner, Ace. Ace, where can we find you?
You can find me at Pocket Aces _USFL on both Instagram and Twitter. Same handle for both. And you're really coming hard at the casino gamblers, jokes, and I'm enjoying it. So
all season long, it's going to be happening. And
Correct.
Representing Breaker Nation, riding through the high seas of NOLA country, we might have Webb. Just so we know. Webb, if you're listening, you have been introduced. But of course, I want to go ahead and introduce the man of the hour. He is Pittsburgh Maulers offensive lineman, Mr. Abdul Beecham. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Abdul, how we doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Doing good. How y'all doing?
We are great, and we are excited to have you on. So thank you for joining us. I know it's been busy. Talking offline, off air. We know how quick everything's happened, so we appreciate you taking the time to come on. So.
Oh yeah, today's been a long one, man, but we getting it done.
Definitely.
I know it's been a long one, but speaking of long ones, I hope you had a long day on March 5th, which was your birthday. How was that?
It was awesome, man. I got to, celebrate it with my loved ones, with my fiance, with my family, and we had a good time. And 5 days later, got drafted to the best USFL franchise. So it was a good week in general.
You're our guest, so I'll let that one slide. But I'm excited to have you, man. You're a guy from my neck of the woods. I'm over here in Waco, Texas. You grew up in, is it Cibolo, Texas?
I grew up in Converse, Texas.
Okay.
Cibolo is where we moved to a little bit later on down the road, after high school and everything. But yeah, I'm from the San Antonio area, small town called Converse. That's where I grew up at.
Yeah, man, you're just 3 hours down the road from me, which to people up in New England like Hype here, that probably sounds like a long time. But to us Texans, 3 hours is a day trip,
Oh yeah, that's right up the street. Yeah,
exactly.
You make that on the daily. Yeah, that's right up the street.
Yeah, anything 10 minutes or more for me is just way too long, man. It's just ridiculous.
But you went to Judson High School. You were a Rocket over there.
Yeah.
Was it high school or was it earlier? When did you realize that football was it and that was the sport that you wanted to take and make a career?
Okay, so I grew up and my first love was basketball because everybody in my family, they played basketball, but I was always bigger, of course, and what I'm saying, I was just too aggressive, man, to play basketball. I would always foul out. I would foul out of every game. I was hurting kids. I wasn't allowing no real rim protector. So I was like, nah. My mom told me, why don't you think about playing football? And, this is about when I was about 6 or 7. And, the rest was history. When I found out you could hit people as hard as you wanted to and not get in trouble for it, I was like, yeah, sign me up. And the rest was just history.
Yeah, that's all you need is a permission slip, too, from mom, and you're good to go.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So from there, you went the JUCO route. What made you choose Blinn College to start your collegiate career?
Well, starting out, I wasn't heavily recruited out of high school. I didn't even know coming out my senior year, I didn't even know what JUCO was because it wasn't real popular at the time. So my head coach at Judson, he talked to me about it my senior year before signing day. He was like, I really feel like you can play, Division I Power 5 football. I know that you're good enough. But we just got to make these other teams see it and make them believe it. So he introduced the JUCO route to me, and he told me, your grades are good, so you'll be a qualifier. So if you go in there and just handle your business, you'll be there for 1 semester tops, and you can get out and do your thing. So I thought about it for a long time, and I actually visited. I was committed to Trinity Valley JUCO at first, and then I switched my commitment over to Blinn after taking my visit. And, I ended up choosing Blinn to go to, and I did exactly what my coach said was going to happen. I got out of there in a semester. So, but it was a great learning experience.
Nice.
Well, you chose Blinn over Trinity Valley, which I know about because of cheer, even though it's like not very far from me. But
Oh yeah,
you went to Judson High School, and much like their mascot, you rocketed straight through Blinn College, and you went right into Kansas State. And my biggest question for that is, why did you choose Kansas State if you're a Texas guy like me? I'm wearing my Baylor up here. I wanted to rep that for you because, I'm a Texas guy, and you went to Kansas. What's up with that?
Well, the thing I didn't understand is, I started off really hot in JUCO. And, after my second game, I got my first offer from Iowa State. They were the first ones to offer me. It was after my second game in JUCO. And after that, the offers just started pouring in. And they were all out of state, out of state, out of state, out of state, out of state. So, I was thinking, I was like, man, I really want to, stay in Texas. That's where the family is at. That's, that's where I would consider home. So, but it never ended up happening. I didn't really get recruited by Texas schools, surprisingly. So all of my offers were out of state. I visited Fresno State, I visited UAB, I visited Iowa State, I visited Kansas State. So I ended up choosing K-State. Playing along there with Coach Snyder. It was a good experience.
Yeah, the list was quite long. I was doing the research. A lot of schools, they were interested, but they were all not even close. So. Yeah, there was a lot of schools interested in you, though. So I was reading that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, growing up, you watched the Longhorns, and then you go and you play at Kansas State, and you're a Texas guy. Was it weird playing against them? Like you're actually there looking at the horns up across from you?
My first time playing Texas, I played. It was my sophomore year. We played them up in Manhattan, Kansas, and I just remember pregame walking out on the field and seeing, it was the specialist guys out there. I was seeing all the kickers. They got their Texas helmets on, and it was like my first time, seeing, the Texas logo, the Texas helmet that up close, and it was a surreal moment. It definitely was, breathtaking. I got a picture that I like to show everybody, like, man, like I was playing against Texas. It's like a picture where we're all in the trenches with our hands down, and you just see their Texas side and then all of us K-State side, and it was a surreal moment, especially my sophomore year, coming from Blinn, where every game we might have had 100 people in the stands, to playing at K-State in front of 55,000. And playing against Texas, and we ended up winning that game too. So that's a game that's forever in my memory.
How was that experience like, though, going from 100 people to a couple hundred, 50,000 people? It's just got to be nerve-wracking, or was it excitement? All the above?
Yeah, it was the first time running out on the field and seeing that many people just in one area in one sitting. It definitely was breathtaking. But after a few games, my sophomore year, I got adjusted to it, and playing at home, I didn't even really notice it that much. But people would tell me all the time, like even guys here in the USFL that I played against in college, just from other Big 12 schools, they'd be like, bro, playing at K-State was so loud, or playing in Manhattan was tough. They would talk about how tough it was, and I was just like, I was kind of used to it. But when we go on the road, and when we go to West Virginia, or if we went to Oklahoma, or we went to Oklahoma State, it was loud, like loud. I'm like, man, you guys' stadium are loud. And they're like, no, your stadium's loud. So it was just a little back and forth thing. But yeah, it's definitely fun.
Nice, nice. No, I did see that Coach Dawson there made an impact on you. What did he do for your career?
Coach who? Excuse me.
Dawson?
Oh, Coach Dawson was our strength and conditioning coach at K-State. Yeah, he was. Coach Dawson didn't take anything less than maximum effort, at all times. And when I say at all times, I mean at all times. At K-State, it was left, right, left. Like, you had your work and you did it, and you didn't complain about it. That's what it was. And like life after college football and like kind of transitioning into the professional world, we didn't really notice it or didn't really see it at the time. We just like, oh, coach is always on us or all this or all that. But you go on to the professionals, and now all those traits that you built, they're helping you, becoming a professional. And you really, really notice it when you get around guys that come from other schools, and you see the way they approach things, or the way they, that some guys don't practice hard, or some guys, they don't care. They'll wear whatever. They won't wear what they're supposed to wear, or just the little things, you know what I'm saying? And they always made sure, because our coaches knew that the talent was going to be there. Everybody has talent, or they wouldn't be, in this profession. So
Right.
what's going to separate you is, the small things, being on time for your meetings, getting the correct amount of sleep, watching what you put in your body, making sure you're hydrated, the little things that are going to go into you being a good football player. So Coach Dawson definitely stressed that a lot. He, he made us work, man. We worked hard at K-State. I mean hard. We was some hard-nosed guys, man, but those were the days.
Right. So I mean, living in the moment, when you be in road like that, you're like, what is this guy's problem type thing? But then you realize down the road,
Yeah.
all right, so he did this for
Yeah.
a reason, to prepare me. So it's
And
a
it
good
comes
coach.
with maturing, and a lot of
Hmm.
what I went through, at K-State, and on, and signing with the Chiefs and then being released. Like, a lot of it just came with maturing and over time. Because I'm the first person in my family to ever go this far with any type of sports. So I tell them all the time, I'm like, I feel like I'm like the trailblazer of it all. Like, I don't have anybody looking out for me, telling me to do this, to do that, don't do this. I had to learn from every mistake I made on my own. You know what I'm saying? It was just me and my family, and we went and we did what we had to do, and we're still pushing along. Still trying to reach that ultimate goal.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Well, it sounds like you learned a lot from Coach Dawson. And then you brought him up earlier. While you were at K-State, you also played under, the legendary, losing it, Bill Snyder. Sorry. Like I said, I'm a
Oh,
Baylor
yeah.
guy. You played under Bill Snyder, and you helped them set the yard per carry record there at K-State. Like, what did
Oh,
all
yeah.
that mean to you to do that while he was still there, before he retired for a second time? Was it awesome?
It was a great feeling. That year especially is a special year just in my heart in general, because that team, just the camaraderie, like how together we were. That was a very, very close team. And I know the work that we put in, that off season and spring practice and everything that goes along with it, you know what I'm saying? And we really put in the work, and we went and we had a great season. It was fun, man. As an offensive lineman, just knowing that you're going to rush for 200 yards a game minimum is a great feeling, because now your sacks are down because you don't got to pass the ball that much. You know what I'm saying? And you just run it. You just run on teams all day. You get to just sit there and maul people. No pun intended.
Oh,
No, all
that pun was
intended. I like
100% intended.
that.
We like it.
uh,
Oh, yeah. But yeah, it was a great time, man. I enjoyed that. That year was fun. Getting the rushing record. We had some great backs, man. Alex Barnes and Justin Silman, Dalvin Warmack. Our backfield was loaded. Mike McCoy. We really went and we did our thing. And credit to my offensive line coach, Coach Dickey. He's one of the best in the business. He's taken Oklahoma State to new heights right now. He's over there getting it done. especially running the ball. I mean, he's a run game coordinator, man. He's a guru with it. I mean, if you guys could see some of the things that Coach Dickey did for us at K-State, I mean, it was crazy. I went into games, at K-State, not worried about anything the defense did. I was so prepared. Like we knew what was coming before it was happening, and it was all credit to him because we just repped it during the week to the point to where it's like, oh my gosh, like, am I going insane? Like, you start dreaming about schemes, and what I'm saying. It was constant repetition, but it was a great time.
Has to be a great feeling too. Going into a
Oh,
game
yeah.
just knowing you're just going to dominate right off the
Yeah,
bat.
that year was special, man. That year was special. I've yet to have a feeling quite like that yet, to where we weren't even worried. Like when I say we weren't worried, we weren't worried. We knew what was coming, when it was coming, how it was coming. It didn't matter.
Now, it was 2016 that you played for Coach Snyder. Was that his last season as well?
No, Coach Snyder actually played through all the way to my senior year
He did, okay.
in 18. Yeah. When he got diagnosed with throat cancer, everybody thought that he was going to hang it up after my junior year. We're gonna have to find a new coach our senior year, and he fought through and he came back. So and we ended up coming together. I feel like that gave our team a little boost. Him showing the strength to still come and coach a football team at his age with everything he's accomplished, for Manhattan, for the state of Kansas, and him just fighting through his battles and with throat cancer. That's no joke. So
Right. I think it was like him going into like his 35th season or something like that in 2016. So he was there quite a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he put in some years, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. That's a lot of football right there. A lot of guys, a lot of games, just insane. So you did go ahead and you played in the Spiral Tropical Bowl. It's like the All-Star game for D1 guys. You had a PFF grade of 86, which ranked you third in the FBS. And scouts were calling you dominant. These things, got you invited to the Hub Camp. What was that experience like for that invitation?
The Hub Camp was a great experience. I got to go out there to San Diego and really like showcase my talents, in front of scouts, and it happened at a great time because, when COVID hit, of course, everybody knows it was tough on, the guys coming out, of college that year who were trying to make a roster, especially guys that were undrafted, but also, for street free agents, we had nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. Like it was no way to get into any leagues. Everything shut down. The XFL shut down. It was just it was a bad time, just for free agents in general, no matter what the age was, no matter what was going on. So the Hub Camp really came around at a clutch time. And I think what it did more than anything is give, like, guys like me, it gave us that spark again, along with the spring league also, with Brian Woods coming along with the spring league and giving guys a chance to go out there and showcase their talents again and get back on the field. And, I mean, myself included, and I know a couple of people personally, it was tough. Like, we took it hard. I mean, we battled, a lot of emotions, went through all of them, took them, head on, and ended up making it, through the storm. So I'm grateful for the Hub. I'm grateful for the Tropical Bowl, for for the Spring League, for giving free agents a chance, to show that they can play. And now here we are, in USFL training camp. It is crazy how everything just comes full circle.
Definitely. Now, just going back, what was your mentality and thought process moving to the pro level? Were you confident? Were you nervous?
I was confident, honestly. I really was. I felt like it didn't matter which team I was placed on, that I was going to make somebody's roster. I went to rookie minicamp with the Buffalo Bills, And then I went to rookie mini camp with the Chiefs also. The Chiefs ended up signing me before the Bills did, so I ended up going to training camp with them. And my mentality, it is never changed, and that's just who I am. That's how my parents raised me. You know, to be confident. Nobody can tell me that I'm not the best out there. And that's not, that's not to say that I'm so cocky and so
No,
flashy.
that's confidence. That's great.
That's just the confidence that I have.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's the confidence that I have. And you have to have that, playing in this game, especially, for guys like me who always had to take the longer route. I had to go JUCO to prove I could play D1. I had to, do this and do that, because I didn't get drafted to make it into the NFL, you know what I'm saying? And do what I had to do. I had, people, coaches back in the day telling me I'm too small to play Division I ball, or he's not strong enough, or he's not tall enough. How's he a tackle? He's only 6'2", this and that. So it was just a whole bunch of stuff just stacked up. But as long as, you're confident in yourself, you can overcome that stuff. And that's what really, that was my mindset going into NFL training camp and going into the next level. And, it's the stuff that people don't really talk about, when you get cut, as a kid, you grow up wanting to, be a professional football player your whole life. That's all I've ever known. That's all I've ever wanted to be, was a professional football player, was go to the NFL. So being there and feeling your dreams, and you're touching it, you're there, I'm in meetings sitting beside Patrick Mahomes, it's a crazy feeling. And then to get it taken away like that, and then you're just back at home like nothing happened, and it takes a toll on you. And I know a lot of, guys in the same position as me, and that's where I say, like, maturing, it just comes along. You learn how to get through it. And don't fight the emotions. Just, feel all of them. Feel all the emotions and keep going, and, just push through, and everything will be all right.
Right. Soak it all in as you can, and then move forward.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you can do, and you're proving it now. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think you're 100% proving it. And like you said, it gets you down. It was hard going through COVID. You bounced around the NFL. You played in the TSL, but eventually all roads led to the USFL. And like you said, on March 10th, you got drafted into who you believe is the best team in the USFL.
Oh yeah, go Maulers, baby.
And I just wanted to know, when you saw your name pop up on the Twitter feed, or if they called you, what were the emotions that you felt? What was that experience like?
Oh man, the emotions were all over the place. I had a full house on the 10th, man. I had my aunt and all my cousins and my uncle came down from Florida. Had all friends and family there, and it was just a great feeling, man. We ate, and, we listened to music, we danced for all night, and, it was right back to work after that. So, but it was great. It was a great feeling, because I felt like, all the work, or like I said, about that full circle moment, like everything that I went through, everything, that I had to do while back at home, it all came full circle, and it felt like that it was paying off finally. And the work's not done yet. It hasn't even began really, but, just to know that you got your foot in the door is a great feeling.
Well, I see that your aunt over here, Erica Outing Burton, said that she said we screamed when you got drafted. So it looks like you have a great family behind you, and that's pretty awesome.
Hey man, Maulers, man, we coming with that smoke, man. We coming with it all.
Now, Beach, can you see the comments as they come in?
Yeah, I can see them.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure, because this is a new streaming for us, and Coach said it last night that he could see that. I just want to make sure you can still see them. But you're mentioning the Maulers, and I just want to go off topic really quick. The actual graphic that we used is from our guy that we have in our network. He is at Ace. I'm so sorry. What is this? Is it at Pitt Maulers?
At day one Maulers fan.
Right, and he does all of our graphics. So the one that I sent you and we use for tonight, it's all from him. So he's loving this interview. He's a big Maulers guy. So every time you say Maulers, he's just
give him a follow back, man. I like the graphic.
Yeah, he's great at what he does. So he appreciates it. So I just wanted to give him that shout out too. But of course, back to football. Another K-State guy was drafted to the Panthers. Justin Lorenz Hughes. Your careers actually overlapped in college. Is he a friend, possible rival?
Oh man, yeah, J-Ball, that's my brother, man.
Okay.
We've been through some stuff at Kansas State together, man. That's my brother for real. But yeah, he's gonna get hit too. So he already knows he's gonna get hit. Families fight, so
They do.
Hey, it's gonna be on, man. He know what time it is, and he gonna bring that same energy too.
Nice.
I like that. Families fight. He knows he's going to get hit.
Oh, yeah,
I dig that.
Gonna get hit.
So we'll say yes to friend and also yes to new rival. So I like that.
Oh yeah.
But we talked about it when we first got on here before we went live. But for everybody watching at home, for the family members who maybe you've been too busy to call or text and let them know yet, explain to us what it's been like, how hectic it is, getting to Birmingham, and a little behind the scenes.
Oh, okay, so I mean, it's been hectic since the moment I got here. Just driving in from San Antonio itself was a 13-hour drive, so that was tough. But since we got here, it's just been a little pre-football stuff that nobody really likes doing. Physicals and getting fitted for all your pads and all the other paperwork that goes along with it, and shot records, and talking to doctors, talking about all the injuries that you've had, disclosing, showing them my surgery that I had on my shoulder in 2017. They're all pulling and tugging on my shoulder all day. So I'm like, it's good, man. I promise. I'm not lying. But yeah, it's been a long day. But yeah, I'm about to go lay it down after this.
And first of all, I'm glad your shoulder's good. If they pulled on it too much, then maybe it wouldn't be. They're just hurting you. But everybody's kind of taking a guess at the fact that Coach Kirby has said, "Oh, we're going to be old school Pittsburgh football," which means a lot of downhill running. Think Jerome Bettis and stuff, which means they need big guys up front like you. And I was wondering, does that excite you? Because obviously, you were a big run game guy, big run blocker in college. Are you excited to possibly get right back to that with Maulers football?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely excited. Coach Wilson actually called me, a few days ahead of the draft, the supplemental draft, and he let me know, of course, that they wanted to take me, and that the plans that they had for me and the style of offense that they ran, and it was just music to my ears. And I'm the type of person that knows what it's going to take to get to the next level. You have to be versatile. You can't be one-dimensional. You got to be able to play. If you're going to be an O-lineman, you're going to be an interior guy, you better be able to snap the ball. You got to play right and left guard. You can't have, I like this side better than the other. You got to be able to play wherever they're going to put you. And, Coach Wilson, and Coach Thomason, they understand that, and they know what it takes to get to that next level and really be where you need to be, and they got guys and players that fit their system. So, you're going to see it come to life. Another K-State teammate of mine, Winston Dimmel, is also on my team, fullback. I think we might be the only team out there with like 2 or 3 fullbacks. So, yeah, y'all know it's going to be downhill running, a lot of hard hitting. We gonna throw that thing too, though. We gonna throw too. I'm telling you.
Well, before Hype's next question, I just wanted to give you a little praise. Here at the USFL Network, we've watched a lot of film on all the teams, and something that immediately stood out to me about yours was that each play you're at a different position. You're left guard, you're center, you're right guard, and this is in college, and that is not easy to do. So I just wanted to say kudos to you, man. That is awesome. Shows the versatility, and it makes sense that you got drafted.
Oh yeah, so credit to again my offensive line coach in college, Coach Dickey. He stressed that you're not going to play at the next level being one dimensional. It doesn't work like that. Teams are only carrying 7 linemen on game day, so which means two of the guys are going to have to be swing guys. So if he's a tackle, taller guy, you're gonna have to play both tackles. If he's an interior guy, you're gonna have to be able to play both guards or center. you know, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're not gonna baby you about it. You just gotta go do it. So, you know, kind of having that pressure on you in college, you know, it definitely made the transition to the pros a little bit easier. You know, because I've been doing this so long. You know, when they ask for our positions now, I don't even know what to put. I just put online, I guess. So,
Athlete.
Yeah.
Guard, center. So, yeah.
Yeah, we found out early on going through the draft and draft day that, you know, the positions coming out and the guys being drafted, their positions were all over the place. So this league was meant for versatility. So, you know, it's going to set you up, you know, moving forward, which is a great thing. You know, if, you know, the player and athlete is into it, you know, you're going to have players that might not fit that, you know, personnel or whatever the case may be, but it does make you versatile, which is nice, which is going to be nice to see moving forward. But we did mention earlier.
I don't want to say
No, go ahead.
too much, but you know, the Maulers, man, we got some cool little things coming to y'all on the offensive side of the ball. So just stay tuned, be ready for that.
Oh, you got me putting my ear in. I was like, oh
yeah, we're like, wait.
I'm not gonna say too much, but just know, man, we're gonna do some things you ain't seen before.
Oh, that's nice. We like to hear that. We had mentioned earlier that you did play in the spring league. Has the USFL had a different feeling so far? A better feeling? I know it's all new, but you know, is there a difference as far as feeling? You know, being down in Birmingham.
Yeah, the setting here definitely feels a lot more professional. It feels more like an NFL training camp than it does like, you know, the training camp that we were for the spring league. You know, everything is you know, scheduled. You're on schedule. You do this, you do that. You go here, do what you got to do, and you know, that's the end of it. And you know, they give us our freedom. They expect us to be responsible and do what we, you know, supposed to do. And you know, it's a great feeling, man. I'm just blessed to be here.
Very good.
And we feel blessed that you're here, and also that you're here on our show talking to us.
Oh,
and every show we have a recurring segment, you know, midway deeper into the show, because we talk so much football, we like to break it up a little bit, get your blood flowing, you know, a little less mind numbing. And it was made by our Breakers representative, Webb, and he calls it the Rapid Incoming Breakdown. And I'm going to ask you 4 questions, not necessarily football related, and you just answer off the top of your head, first thing that comes to your mind. Sound good?
Okay.
All right. Question 1. Best atmosphere as an away player you've ever experienced?
Best atmosphere as an away player. That's a tough one. It might have been. Let's see. The best atmosphere easily as an away player was with the Chiefs, our second game of the preseason. We went and we played the Steelers at Heinz Field, and man, for a preseason game, Heinz Field was crazy. It was wild. So, you know, it's moments in that game that I will never forget. Now, this is crazy. It's bad that I'm saying this, but, you know, TJ Watt got a sack. I remember this play like vividly. He got a sack, and, you know, the crowd just goes wild. And he just rips his helmet off, and he's just firing the crowd up, running to the sideline. I'm just like, oh, I'm really here looking at this. Like, this is stuff you see on TV.
Right.
Like, I'm just here down on the field just watching it happen. It was crazy. And we ended up winning the game too. So, you know, it was definitely a good experience. But, you know, just those moments, you know, being on the road at Heinz Field, you know, a place that I never in a million years figured I'd play a game at, you know, but it was amazing. I'm
just imagining you standing there in awe of TJ Watt. The time stops, and then you get hit in the face with a terrible towel, and you come back to it. Just nails you.
It was legit like a time stopping moment. Like, I felt like it just froze, and all the attention was just on him. You know, and I was like, man, this is crazy to see like this up close and actually hear, you know, the roar of Heinz Field. It was crazy.
I do like that you pulled Pittsburgh back into it. Good for you. But
you know,
question number 2.
I didn't catch that at first.
That's what we're here for. We catch everything.
I didn't catch that at first, but for sure.
But question number 2, if they were to make a documentary movie about your life, Who would play you?
Who would play me? Oh goodness. Who would play me? Oh my gosh. It's gotta be some type of comedian. It's gotta be Drewski or somebody. It's gotta be some type of comedian. I don't know. My life definitely, I mean, if you guys get to know me and the type of person I am, I joke, I play all the time. That's just who I am, with my family, with my brothers and my sisters, my siblings and stuff. We play around a lot, man. I definitely would have to have a comedian.
They'd have to find
Heavier
a big
set guy.
comedian,
Yeah.
a tall one. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of big ones, but we'll find them. Question number 3. Other than football, what was your favorite class in college?
Excuse me?
Other than football, what was your favorite class in college?
Oh, my favorite class. I had a few actually, but if I had to choose one, it would probably be I took anthropology in college. It was a course that I really enjoyed. The study of people, just learning about different cultures and different civilizations and how people lived. It really sparked my interest, and I actually had my fiance in that class too, and we were together at the time. I walked into class one day and she was in there. I'm like, oh, you got the same class? We didn't even know, so we pulled up to the same class, and so we made a bet. At the end of the year, who has the higher grade in the class, and I won that.
There you go. There you go. Even live on our show, you're not gonna give it to her. You're like, I did that.
Oh no. Yeah, I won that. I take pride in that.
Also, the first and maybe last time anybody ever says the word anthropology on our show. So I do like that.
Anthropology, man. It was a fun course. I was surprised that I enjoyed it that much. I learned a lot.
I was an engineer, so I never learned like anything about people. It was all gears and hating my life. But question number 4 is, who is the strongest player you've ever had to block? It can be a teammate or an opponent.
Strongest player I've ever had. Oh, it's easily one of my teammates. It was Will Geary. He was a nose tackle from a small town in Kansas, man. We called him the troll under the bridge. He was about 5'8", maybe. I mean, he was stocky, and he was literally. I mean, when he put his hands on you, when you try to go run block him as a nose. I mean, he would his hands felt like bricks. It was crazy, if he's grabbing you, and I remember one practice, we were doing board drill, and I had to go up against him, and we get done with the board drill, and he lets me go, and he has a handful of my jersey. And I'm just, I didn't even know how it happened. It's a chunk full of my jersey. I had to go get a new practice jersey and everything. But
Wow.
He was strong, man. He's the strongest guy in the weight room by far. His squat, he had no limit. We couldn't even max him out. We couldn't put enough weight on the bar. So it was insane. His bench was equally as impressive. So he was strong, man.
Makes me happy. The 5'8" guys repping out here. All right.
Oh yeah. It's always the shorter ones, man. They got something, man. They got to make up for it.
I need you to go tell my girlfriend that. But I think that's another question.
I mean, just looking over in the comments too, back to the the bet with your fiance. Is it Nautica?
Oh yeah.
She says she thinks she had the higher grade. So and what was the bet? She's watching.
She says she thinks she should have had the higher grade. But coming from an engineer, numbers don't lie. I am sorry, Nautica.
She says that I got the higher grade because I played football. I don't believe that.
All right. So, I mean, we have fun with that game here, but we mentioned earlier that you did play in the spring league. Has the USFL had a different feeling so far? A better feeling? Or did we just ask? You did, didn't you? Okay. Thank you so much, Ace. I appreciate it. We are live. Sorry, Beach. Thank you all for watching. No, I'm so sorry. So, Ace, you can take it over from here, man.
All right.
Sorry, Beach.
We mentioned earlier, we interviewed the Gamblers running back coach, J.D. Runnels Jr., and he had given us some breaking news. He told us that they are shooting a Hard Knocks, like the NFL's Hard Knocks style show during training camp and during the season. Are you excited about that? Have you seen anything about it? What can you tell us?
Yeah, I'm excited about it, man. They've had cameras walking around here. It's been like a little Hollywood here, so it's been nice, man. So I'm excited to hopefully be featured on that and get some good content out to you guys.
Oh, I am super excited about it.
Yeah.
Also excited that we got to break that news to everybody. Hopefully we didn't get Coach in trouble. So I figured we could ask you about it because he bit the bullet so that you could talk.
If Coach talked about it,
right.
It be out there, man.
Yeah, we're seeing things now come out via Instagram and Twitter and things like that. The cameras out there. So luckily we were able to break it, so guys are more at ease and sharing their experience so far, which is nice.
We opened the floodgates.
We opened the doors for that. It was nice, a nice feeling.
What's the USFL going to get mad at me? I don't know. Maybe. But otherwise, behind the scenes, the USFL has been incredibly secretive with anything. Is there anything else that you've seen, you've heard of that maybe you could let us in on that we won't get you in trouble for, because we are not trying to do that here?
No, not really, man. I pretty much know as much as y'all. They keep everything low key, even for us players. We'll wake up one day and it'll just be there, and we'll just have to deal with it. Like, we knew nothing about the cameras, about the HBO, about anything. We just woke up this morning and HBO was here and Fox was here and everybody else was here, and they got cameras in everybody's faces, and it is what it is. You just got to deal with it. But that's how things been going. It's not really nothing that we're in on that that everybody else doesn't know yet.
I mean, it's got to be a big deal for some guys. HBO, Fox being in their face. I mean, can be kind of intimidating.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Are you sure it's HBO?
I want to say I'm not sure. I thought that's what I seen today, or it might. I don't know. I might have to double check with that.
Well,
okay,
I know.
I'm glad, because I thought I'd have to pay for Peacock, so I'm glad I don't have to.
You got to get that. You got to get Peacock. That's where the game's going to be shown. Like,
yeah.
You got to get it. I'll give you my password. You'll be good.
There we go. We share in this community.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So, I mean, towards the end, I want to thank you so much, Beach, for coming on. With all the traveling, everything going on today, everything going on moving forward. I want to thank you for taking the time today to come on with us. I know you're crazy busy, so thank you for that. But at the end of the interview, of course, we like to go ahead and give the athlete the floor. I know you did mention, doing the research, you were talking about giving back within the community, things like that. So we just go ahead and give the floor to yourself. If there's anything you want to go ahead and say, shout outs, whatever the case may be, the floor is yours. The time is now. I mean, you can just go ahead and just share whatever you'd like. If you have anything on your mind that you want to go ahead and share.
Well, I'd like to, of course, first of all, give a shout out to my family, because, when I felt like I had nothing, they've always believed in me. I believe that family is important, and, everybody should value it. If you're fortunate enough, blessed enough to have your parents in your life, or, anybody that you feel, like you can consider family, tell them that you love them, give them a hug, because you never know when you have to, get up and leave, or when it's going to be your last time seeing them. This life, as you can see, with this pandemic and everything else going on, it's crazy. We don't know what's going to happen. So, just try your best to be a good person, be the best version of yourself. Love your loved ones up, and, love your neighbors up too. Just be nice to everybody, man, because you never know where it's going to take you. It's a piece of advice that my dad, gave me, as a young boy, even now that I'm using, in my everyday life. I can't even count how many times I've had like just meaningless encounters with people. Like, you don't think nothing of it. You'll never think nothing of it. And just you being, a good person and talking to people and not thinking you're too good for people or whatever it is that you got going on. And then, later on down the road, when you completely forgot about that encounter you had with that guy or that woman, it comes back and it helps you, and it comes back and everything just comes full circle. So, just be the best version of yourself that you can be. and everything will work out fine.
Devin, well said. And Beach, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on with us once again. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the experience. We hope to see you on game day. Well, we're going to see you on game day. But in the future, you know, the overall goal, of course, is to get back to the NFL. So we hope to see you there. And we hope to have you back on, you know, soon. So we appreciate it once again. But
of course, man, anytime. Just let me know.
definitely. Well, we appreciate that. And go Maulers. Sorry, Ace.
Go Maulers.
Go Maulers. There you go. All right. Well, Beach, have a great night, and you take care. And once again, thank you so much for being on.
All right. Thank y'all.
Thank
It was
you.
great talking to you.
All right. I'll be safe.